Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart, where we have more high fives for humanity and less rage bait. The tech gremlins are out, but we are rocking and rolling this morning on Kindness Rising. And we're going to be talking about two questions that sound pretty identical. The first is, what happened? The second is, what is wrong with you? Identical but different. One invites the truth and the other teaches people to hide it. Here's the thing that leaders sometimes miss. Your reaction to bad news does not affect only the moment. It teaches everyone who's watching, what honesty will cost them the next time. And today we're taking real accountability, the kind that holds the standard without destroying the person. Good morning. This is Kindness Rising. Good morning, Jess. Welcome in everybody else who's out there. This is Kindness Rising, getting started on the Mornings in the Lab network right here on YouTube and LinkedIn and social networks everywhere. How's it going today? Get involved in the chat. That's the point of why we're here today, is to get us up, thinking with some positivity, connecting with our community, and having a good old time. Mike Sullivan, got to step away from your desk. Okay, be back later. That's fine. Sorry, I want you to know I saw your video with Jackie DeShannon on YouTube today. So I'd like to see your posting. We'll talk about it later. Go do your thing. All right. Yep, I'm Matt, and this is Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. And we're going to continue with our Without a Net conversation this week. Today, this week, all week long, we've been owning our mess. We named the whole staircase after we dumped a bunch of paint down it. We untied the rope after getting run over by a bike. And yesterday we talked about James Dyson and Dick Fosbury, different people in different fields, but the same lesson. Don't waste that mistake. Good morning, Roseanne. Good morning, Mom. Today we take one more step, because learning from mistakes requires something else. It requires an environment where people feel safe enough to admit them. And that brings us to today's theme: accountability without shame. Because high standards and human dignity are not the opposite. Absolutely. All right. We're getting going here a little bit. Like I said, the tech gremlins were out this morning. I think Mom, we talked about full moon. I think we're still dealing with the residual effects of the full moon. At least my computer wanted to see it. It made me reboot and all kinds of weird stuff going on. But we're here. It's amazing. We fight through and we get here. We get here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Yep. And here it is, your kindness spark. Some people confuse accountability with making someone feel bad. They think if the person doesn't look embarrassed enough or apologize dramatically enough or appear devastated, that accountability didn't really happen. But shame is not the same as accountability. Shame says you are the problem. Accountability says this is the problem, let's face it. Shame attacks your identity, while accountability addresses the behavior. Shame kind of makes us hide a little bit. Shame is silent, right? We hide it. Accountability creates the next step. And here's the line that I want us to carry today. The goal of accountability is not to make someone feel bad enough to change. It's to help them see clearly enough to change. That difference matters at work, at home, in leadership, and especially in moments when someone brings us something we did not want to hear. Absolutely. Good morning, Jess. Yes, the moon was out and big and round today for sure. In our world, my world, I was taught it brings mischief and chaos and insanity, but okay, it's good. Mom, I'm telling your stories. My mother was a school teacher, special education school teacher, 35 years. And she always knew when the full moon was. She didn't have to look at a calendar, a clock, or even up into the sky. She could tell by the behaviors. And we kind of became attuned to that stuff. Interesting. All right. So, I'm going to have a little sip of my coffee here. And then we're going to get into our spotlight. Every day here on Kindness Rising, as those of you like Jess and Sully and Roseanne and Keith and Jerry Ginger and the rest of the crew that's out there know that we always highlight an organization that's doing good work for good people, trying to lift people up and help. And today, of course, is no different as we get moving here. Let's get our kindness spotlight going. There it is. Okay, the kindness spotlight today is an organization called, not that. Oh no, I just gave away the clue. Oh no, I hit the wrong button. Nobody saw that. I know you didn't. You weren't. Nobody's watching anyway, right? All right, the Phoenix. We're talking about the Phoenix, a sober, active community that helps people build recovery through connection, movement, and belonging. That may include fitness, hiking, climbing, yoga, music, meditation, or simply being around people who understand what it means to begin again. But the deeper work of the Phoenix is not really about exercise. It's about identity, because addiction often carries enormous shame. It tells people you failed, you disappointed everyone, you should hide. The Phoenix offers a different message. There's still standards. There's still responsibility, and there's still a commitment to recovery, but people do not have to earn back their humanity before they're welcomed into the room. And that's what makes the model powerful. It surrounds accountability with belonging. It says you're responsible for your next step, but you don't have to take it alone. That is soft. It's not soft, it's strong. Because shame isolates, but belonging gives people somewhere to stand while they rebuild. This is the Phoenix, today's kindness spotlight. All right. Okay, we're going to keep going here. That was our spotlight. We're rocking and rolling. Of course, I'm getting into the comments. Oh, Jess, your cat saw the full moon? Or we're dealing with the full, yeah. It's funny because I was just saying this morning, I woke up and I said, I love having pets, especially cats, because you never know what you're going to wake up to. This morning we had one of our plants was enjoyed by one of our cats last night. And if you have cats, you know they eat them, but it doesn't always stay down. So that's what we were dealing with this morning too. So I guess the cats are rolling with the tides and the full moon like the rest of us here on Kindness Rising. All right, I want to talk about something today. I want to talk about an example of an organization and a process and a group that we all probably have been impacted by and enjoyed their entertainment. But really, it's about how they go about their creative process that creates trust and psychological safety for the people who are leading the project. Talking about an organization whose logo symbol is a little jumping lamp. We're talking about Pixar. Actually, Pixar became famous for movies that feel really emotional and almost inevitable and perfect. But those films don't begin that way, that's for sure. They begin really unfinished, confusing, and sometimes flat or deeply flawed. But they have a process they call the brain trust. The brain trust at Pixar, where filmmakers bring their unfinished work into the room and hear direct, honest feedback from people with whom they've built trust. A character that might not be working. What character do you think didn't work in a Pixar film? I'd be interested to hear what you think. The story may lose energy, or the ending may not land. The emotional center may be missing. But they gather together and they don't just talk about, oh, that's really interesting, cool, yeah, nice, yeah, okay, well, all right, yeah, I agree. No, they tell the truth. It doesn't exist to humiliate the director, but it keeps the film moving. It helps it forward where the group identifies problems, but the director still owns the solution. And that distinction matters because they're not pretending and protecting the work from the criticism, but they are protecting the creator, the person who's leading, from the humiliation. Pixar makes unfinished work safe enough to show, and hidden problems cannot improve, so the work gets better because the truth enters the room. That is it. All right, let's get to our clues. 3 clues. Howdy, Jerry. Jerry's here. Good morning, Jerry. Good to see you, buddy. I liked your little clip yesterday with Jerry. You look pretty good out there. You look pretty good at introducing yourself and telling us all about you, even though you are imaginary. All right. Well, a bunch of us are here now, so let's do the clue. Let's get a clue. This is our Who in the World. 3 clues throughout today's episode that's going to tell you who we're talking about. And if you're paying attention earlier, I flashed their picture accidentally. So if you know, kind of hold back because I tipped it. But anyway, here's the clue. The person pursued law enforcement but became famous for running from danger rather than confronting it. Person who pursued law enforcement but ran from danger. All right. While we're at it, let's get right into our little bit of research. Today, research is important. I talked about it last week or a couple of weeks ago, and I want to reinforce this idea because this is really where today's theme comes from. It's radical candor. Kim Scott, professional who worked on some of the biggest projects that you experience every day. Google and Amazon, she's worked for those places. And she uses this radical candor idea to describe the powerful leadership balance that we have as leaders, especially when we're giving feedback. To care personally, but challenge directly. Most of us lean towards one side naturally. Some of us care really personally and avoid difficult conversations sometimes. But I've learned how to fight against that. I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, so I delay, I soften, I might hint at something, hoping that they'll get the clue. Nope, that doesn't work that way. Eventually, everyone knows there's a problem except the person who needs to hear it most. And that's not kindness, it's avoidance. Other people, they challenge directly and show very little fear. They say, I'm just being honest. Can I be brutally honest with you? Which is often what people say right before delivering feedback that feels like you're about to get hit with a falling piano or something. Truth without care becomes cruelty. Care without truth becomes avoidance. So healthy accountability, that requires both. I care enough about you to not humiliate you, and I respect you enough not to hide the truth from you. That's the balance, and it gives us the practical tool that we call the clean correction. 3 steps to a clean correction. Name the behavior. Say what happened, not what kind of person they are. Name the impact. Explain why it matters. And then name the next step. Make the expectation clear. Next time, tell me before the deadline if you're at risk of missing it. Pretty easy way to pick something. Behavior, impact, next step. And then just leave the person's dignity intact. That's accountability. Clear, direct, and usable. Absolutely. Has anybody ever had a, hey, Bullshit Labs, welcome. Are you back? Are you back stateside, Petro? Love it. Oh, no, you're in Uganda still. Nice. You like my jazzy music? Nice. Just guessed Don Knotts, Shaky's Gun in the West. But this is my shooting hand. Wrong movie, but I still love it. Blazing Saddles, not Don Knotts. All right. Okay, let's get moving. Let's go. Has anybody out there, I know everybody has, that's why I'm asking. This is actually a rhetorical question. Had a boss who you really liked, who cared about you and tried to protect you? but then you realize that they're protecting you was not really protecting the team or the project? Yep, I know I have. So here is what we're going to get to right now. I'm going to tell my little story. So I once worked for a leader who had a very clear rule. It's nice to have clarity, right? Very clear rule. You could bring anything to her, anything you wanted. No fear about anything that happened, a mistake, a concern, or a problem, bad news, but nothing went to her boss without coming through her first. Sounds like strong leadership. Bring it to me, we'll solve it together, blah, 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 blah. And that part of it absolutely was. She knew the person above her had a history of reacting badly to bad news, reacting poorly, blame and witch hunts and searching for who's caused the problem instead of trying to understand the problem. And she told us right to our faces, I'm doing this for your protection. And I believe she meant it. I do. She was trying to create a safe zone for the team, but something else happened. When we learned that the truth had to be handled so carefully, or that bad news was dangerous, we learned that the wrong person hearing the wrong thing at the wrong time could create consequences far beyond the original mistake. So now our information becomes managed, problems become filtered, people become cautious, a little less risk taking, a little less honest, right? And here's what happened to me. One day, that boss left. My boss left. And the person who had been protecting us was now gone. The culture she had intentionally helped create remained, the culture of secrecy, the culture of fear, a culture of where people won't ask, well, what do we need to say, right? They are asking, what is it safe to say it? That experience taught me something I've never forgotten. A leader's response to bad news becomes the team's policy on honesty. I'll say it again. A leader's response to bad news becomes the team's policy on honesty. Not the one written in the handbook, the real policy. If bad news brings blame, then people will hide it. If mistakes create witch hunts, then people will manage the story. And if truth threatens belonging, people will wait until the problem becomes too large to conceal. My boss thought she was trying to protect us from an unsafe leader, but protection is not the same as psychological safety. Protection demands one person standing between you and the threat. Psychological safety actually changes the culture so the truth doesn't need a bodyguard. That's the difference. A healthy team should not have to whisper the truth through a right person. The truth should be able to enter the room on its own. That's today's, I don't know what I'd call that, my little lesson. I guess it's my without a net. Absolutely. All right. We got 2 clues. We're going to get to a third clue here in just a moment. I'm interested in your stories too. Share. What are the ways that you help to create psychological safety in places where you interact? It doesn't have to be at work. Some of us work in corporate environments or academic environments or home environments or whatever. But we all interact with people. And we all have to give and receive feedback sometimes about things, personally and professionally. And the better we get at creating a psychologically safe place for that feedback to happen, the more impactful the feedback will be. What? Crazy. Yes, it's true. It's true. I've seen it. I've used it. I've done it both ways. Yep. That's my personal story. My personal growth story is I was an avoider for a long, long time. It took me a lot of hard work and a lot of mistakes and tears and anger and frustration and all kinds of things to learn how to be direct and honest, but also compassionate. And understanding that we're all human and we're all part of who we are. So, and people, I also learned by doing it that way, you get better results. You just get better results. That's just what it comes from. Everybody feels better. That's important. But in the end, the outcome becomes better because people are freer to move forward, to take a little risk. That's what we're talking about today. All right. Let's get to our third clue. Third clue. We'll review our first three clues. I always give our first two clues and give you the third. Our first two clues for our person today. Maybe. This person pursued law enforcement but became famous for running from danger rather than confronting it. Oh, I never gave the second clue. Oh my God, I'm off today. They're also a successful offer and an offer. I said that the same way yesterday. I wonder if it's my tooth that's causing that problem. Oh well. A successful author and outspoken advocate for honesty about addiction and recovery. That's the second clue. I'll give you the third clue right now. Back to back to back. Third clue. Here it is. She became Hollywood's original final girl by repeatedly facing and running away from Michael Myers on Halloween night. All right. We'll get to our person. If you didn't see who it was already, I think you probably might know the person who ran away from Mike Myers several Halloween nights. He just was relentless. I don't. Let's get to our kindness compass. There it is. Jess is in with the answer. Let's do our compass and then we'll talk about JLC. How do I JLC? Here it is. Today's kindness compass. We always move from thought to action. What can we do to put today's topic into action in our lives? And usually, just like today, it starts with questions. When someone makes a mistake, do they leave your presence clearer or smaller? Are you addressing the behavior or attacking the person's identity? And when have you avoided a needed conversation because you confused kindness with silence? So that's today's challenge. It's simple. Use the clean correction. Name the behavior. Name the impact. Name the next step. Hey, that's 3 steps. Name the behavior. Name the impact. Name the next step. Then preserve the connection. You would say, I believe we can fix this, or I'm raising this because you matter to the team. Or simply, let's just work through this together. Truth, clarity, and dignity, all three are the way to provide that hard feedback. All right. That kind of lines. You hear static in the audio? Does it sound like a, thanks, Mom. I'm kidding. I don't know why there's static in the audio. Who knows around here? I told you I was having tech gremlins. I hope you can hear it better now. Everything appears to be working, but maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's the spirit of Kindness Rising episodes past coming to tell us about it. I might have a loose wire. I know I got a few loose screws, so maybe I got a loose wire too, Sully. Thanks for jumping in. Do you really hear? Is it true? Is it true? Here, I'm tightening the wires. Is that better now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Or, as the guy who got fired from Verizon says, can you hire me now? That was a dumb joke. Okay, let's pull the thread on this thing. Oh, no, we're not pulling the thread yet. We got to get to Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is the answer to our Who in the World today. Thanks, Sully. Yeah, maybe that was a little loose down there. I don't know. This microphone is taking a beating, but we're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis. Yep, famous, of course, as a teenager, the daughter of Vivian Lee and Tony Curtis too, right? But famous as a teenager for running away from Michael Myers, and then as a continued career. We've grown up with her, through her in many ways. I know I did, certainly during the, what was the name of that movie that she's 1982 picture here? With John Travolta, where they were like aerobic dancer instructors or something. I forget the name of the movie. Anyway, True Lies. Jess, absolutely. What an amazing role. I mean, that was perfect for her. It was the perfect combination. I mean, could not have cast that role better. Funny movie, silly, action oriented, whatever, unbelievable, classic. But yeah, True Lies is a great movie. Great movie. Yep. Anyway, but what's also cool about Jamie Lee and why I featured her today is not just True Lies and Halloween and the other movies that she's been in. It's more about who she is as a person. A person. Yep. She definitely struggled with substance use and was very, very open and honest in the world about that. She had parenting struggles and yeah, um, whatever. And then, of course, she started writing children's books, became famous for that. And I personally just like her candor and her honesty about things. She's definitely does not give a crap, but also has compassion and interest and cares about people. That's a pretty cool combo. Sully, was she a cop? No, what I learned was that she studied. She actually went to college for law enforcement, but never became a cop. She actually wanted to be a lawyer. I saw you say daughter, and I'm saying lawyer. She wanted to be a lawyer, actually. She went to school for criminal justice. Yeah, daughter of Tony Lee Curtis and Vivian Lee, right? Isn't Vivian Lee her mother? Vivian Lee of Psycho fame, getting stabbed in the shower. Pretty sure. Or am I wrong about that? You can correct me. I'm okay with that. I've been corrected before. Once. I was wrong once, one other time, but I'm willing to admit it today that I might be wrong. Anyway, that's it. What a morning it's been. We started with our technical difficulties. We talked about Pixar. We talked about Candor and Kim Scott. We talked about everything. We talked anything you want to talk about. Radical Candor, naming the next step, my boss who tried to protect me, all that stuff. But what's the thread? What is the thread for the whole thing? It's been the thread we've been building all week, the cloth we've been building all week about owning our mess. We named the whole staircase. We untied the rope. We refused to make the mistake. And today we remembered not to make the person smaller than the lesson. Yep. The wheel keeps turning and you can't slow down. Mistakes happen. Stuff happens. We make bad decisions or we have problems, but that wheel keeps turning. So we're going to face it with that right balance of candor and compassion. That is the way to keep the wheel turning. People stumble, plans break, old patterns return, and bad news arrives. But the question is not whether someone will make a mistake. The question is what kind of environment waits for them when they tell the truth. Are we creating a courtroom or a classroom? A verdict or a next step? Because shame says, go hide. And accountability says, come closer, we need to talk. Conversation may be uncomfortable, but discomfort is definitely not the same as humiliation. Absolutely. So tell the truth, hold the standard, protect the person, and remember, a leader's response to bad news becomes the team's policy on honesty. That's what we talked about here today on Kindness Rising. Goodbye, Jamie Lee Curtis. Goodbye, Jess. Goodbye, Jerry Ginger. Goodbye, Mike Sullivan. Goodbye, Roseanne, and the rest of everybody who's out there. Thank you for joining me here today on Kindness Rising. Come on back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind.